Welcome, everybody. Just going to wait a few minutes for everyone to get on. So just to let everyone know, I have a YouTube feed here, I have my Instagram feed here, and I have my Facebook feed here. There's a lot I want to give you because it's been an amazing weekend. Just want to share with you a lot and just want to really know what you've been up to as well over the weekend. So what I'd really love you to do is if you're on YouTube here or you're on Facebook here, if you could just go on to Instagram as well, then there's a little request button, and in about 15-20 minutes, press the request button. Come on, tell me how your weekend's been. Tell me anything right now with regards to mindset, your business, money, anything right now which you're struggling with, or there's a hurdle. We've all got that one hurdle, right? And when we can get past that, we can get to the next level. So whatever that hurdle is for you, in a moment, just press that request button. I'll bring you on. You'll come on live. I know we had a feed issue with the live on Friday. There was a sound issue, so I've got my my AirPods right now. So hopefully that should solve that. But what will happen is the people on YouTube and Facebook, you will not be able to hear what the person's saying on Instagram. So I would really advise, keep on these feeds as well. But if you can, just log on to Instagram as well, or just log on to Instagram. It's everything is under my name. Click on the request button, and in about 15-20 minutes, once I've given you my rants for the day, then just jump on, and it'll be really, really, really good to hear from you. Just whatever, maybe some comments, how's your weekend been, what are you struggling with, any help you need, anything you're trying to launch, any hurdle in your business, any mindset issue, anything at all. And I will give you all I can right now live over here, and I will sort that out for you. That is my promise, 100% guarantee. Whatever you are going through, I will sort out for you. So while everyone comes in, just a couple of questions. How has your day been so far? Good, great, or bad? Just kind of type it in. I'd love to know, how's your day going so far? Just while we wait for anyone else to join in. So how's your day going? Is it good? Is it great? Great day? Is it an okay day, a good day, or a bad day? We can all have bad days. It is okay to have bad days. So if you're having one, just put it in here. Let me know. We've got the YouTube chat. We've got the Instagram chat. We've got the Facebook chat. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you're tuning in on, just let me know how things are going. Great. I love it. People having great days. I hope you're not just saying great just to make it great, but I hope you're really having a great day, and it's absolutely brilliant that you're having a great day. Again, if it's a good day, just put it in there. If it's a bad day, that's okay. We can have some bad days. Just put it in there as well. And in a minute, I just want to tell you about how my weekend's been, what I've been up to, and then I want to know what you've been up to. And we've got the most amazing week ahead of us, right? A full 7 days of pure hustle, pure hard work. Where are you going to be at the end of this week, right? Are you going to be stronger, fitter, healthier, have more money? You're going to be, really have grown mindset, financially, business? Will all that have grown by the end of this week? Or you're going to be exactly the same as where you started? And that's my issue, right? If you're listening in right now, you're one of those people who want to grow, who really know that there's so much in you. So what I want to make sure is that by the time this week is over, you're stronger, you're fitter, you're healthier, mentally, physically, just life's going great. And always ask yourself that one question: am I better today than what I was yesterday? And will I be better tomorrow than what I am today? If you can go to sleep every day asking yourself that one question: did I grow? 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 And if not, evaluate yourself and see, why didn't you grow? And what can you do tomorrow to make tomorrow better than today? And ask yourself the question like I do, that how am I going to grow more tomorrow? I always said that in the evening, make sure before you sleep, you have your to-do list done. But I also said that it shouldn't be a to-do list. It should be a to-be list. Because when you know the person you want to be, then it's quite easy to know the things you need to do to become the person you want to be. So always make sure that you have a to-be list. And every day could be a different thing, right? That tomorrow, I want to be someone more courageous. Tomorrow, I want to be someone more funny. Tomorrow, I want to be someone happier. Tomorrow, I want to be someone with more wealth. Tomorrow, I want to be a better spouse. Tomorrow, I want to be a better sibling. Tomorrow, what is tomorrow going to bring for you? So if you know that tomorrow that you want to be a better spouse, for example, what is going to go on your to-do list, because it's going to be based on your to-be list. So always at night, make your to-be list. Always make it at night. Do not make it in the morning, because that's not what the brain is designed for. The best way to make the most out of this is to make sure that you do your to-be list at night. Okay. So again, just to let everyone know, there's a Facebook feed, YouTube feed, Instagram feed. Feel free to join on the Instagram, because in a while you can just click the request button, which is coming up on your feed, and you can just jump into the conversation. Let me know. And I really, really, really want to be able to serve you, help you with any question you may have. So, right, so how has my weekend been? So one of the things I want to talk about to you today is how you grow, okay? How you grow at a time like this, when it's a really tough time, the steps, 7, 8, 9 steps you need to really be able to grow through a time like this. So a lot of people, and again, I'm going to be switching because I'm on 3 feeds at the moment. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm just looking at the YouTube feed. If I'm not on the YouTube feed, I'm on the Facebook feed. So a lot of people have said to me, Mahmoud, how do I grow at a time like this? And I ask myself that question every single day, how tomorrow can I become a better person than I am today? How can I serve more, give more, become more, do more? Just be that person who, that people want to be around. How can I see? Because when I was younger, I remember I had a stutter, I couldn't speak, didn't really like it. And now things are totally different. But the only reason things have become totally different is because the mindset's changed, right? That every day I'm trying to be better, give more, do more, serve more. So a lot of people ask me that, why don't I do something for kids? Why don't I run a kids course? And I've always wanted to run an event for kids. And I actually, we were in plans of booking a really nice school for a weekend in October. And obviously then lockdown happened, and all those plans right now have been put on hold. So how can I right now go and serve the people who really need it? And sometimes the people who really need it are the kids, because right now kids are in isolation, right? Kids are in lockdown. All this is going on. There's uncertainty. Parents are worried. Parents are stressed. There may be arguments going on at home. And how can we build up rock solid kids? And I mean, because your beliefs, everything which you're brought up to right now is given to you by accident. I've said this before. Most of your beliefs are given to you between the age of 0 and 7, and they're all given to you from your parents and from the people around you and from your teachers and from people of authority. So right now, for me, I want to build up rock solid kids. I want my kids to have a really, really strong mindset, to understand that no matter what happens in the world, that they can control whatever's going on. Because when you can control yourself, you can control the world around you. To be able to change the world, you've got to change yourself, right? So for me, that is really important. So what I said is, what if I put on a kids mindset workshop? And so yesterday, what I did is I put on a kids mindset workshop. And what this was about is I wanted to be able to give kids the gift of being resilient, of becoming self-reliant, of knowing that within themselves they have enough, that they don't need to go and find other people outside, but whenever they're going through a problem, they can be emotionally stable. They don't need to be emotionally charged, and how to do that. So what I did yesterday is I told the kids about the 3 types of people. So I'm going to let you know what I spoke about yesterday, but I'm going to go into a bit more depth, things which I couldn't tell the kids, which I want to tell you on here right now before we jump into Q&A. So I said there are 3 types of people in the world. You have lions, and the lions are the courageous people, the leaders, the business builders, the growth finders. Like you look at lions, right? Every morning they wake up and they've got a goal. They want to go out there and catch the slowest gazelle. They want to go out there and they want to hunt. They want to kill. They've got to bring back stuff for their family. They are the hunters. They are the leaders. And when you look at lions, they've got a really big furry coat. And the point of lions is whatever hits them should be able to bounce off, right? It's like your armor. So 3 types of people, right? Number 1, you've got your lions, the leaders, the courageous ones, the people who are going to go out there and actually create change in this world. Then the second type of people you've got, the sheep. And it's okay to be a sheep, because a lot of people are sheep, right? They want to be led. They don't want to be the leaders, and that's okay. But the biggest problem with sheep is that later in life, they're the people who regret not being lions. And the reason that they didn't become lions is that they didn't take those choices. They didn't risk failure. They didn't invest in themselves. They didn't jump off that cliff. They didn't do all those things because they were scared and they were fearful and they were worried about what people were going to say about them, right? So the biggest thing which holds sheep back is the opinion of others. We went through that last week, right? The opinion of others is what holds us back. So the second type of person is a sheep. So number 1, we've got the lions. Number 2 is a sheep. And the third kind of people in this world are the snakes. And the snakes are the people who tell you can't do things, who put you down, who tell you you're not good enough. Like snakes poison you, right? They poison you. These snakes, the people snakes, they poison you. They poison your ideas. They poison you so you don't move anymore. You just stay still. You don't move on anymore. And my point in life is look at your circle right now. And in a while, I'm going to go through how to assess your circle, right? Really important. The 3-4 questions you need to ask yourself about every friend you have in your life. I'm going to go through that in about 10 minutes. So please make sure you're here. I want you to assess your circle. So you need to find out in your life who is a lion. Hold on to them tightly, right? Hold on to these people tightly, because they're the people who will grow you, your mentors, your coaches, the leaders around you. The second type of people, the sheep, okay. But the third type of person is a snake. And look into your circle. There may be family, there may be friends, whatever it may be, but you need to stay away from snakes as much as you can, right? Stay away from snakes, become a lion, become a leader. And the sheep, it's okay, but the sheep's kind of in the middle ground. But remember, the sheep are the people who didn't do the things they needed to do to become that lion, okay? So each and every one of you right now, you were born to be a lion, you were. And down the line, because of what our parents said to us, because of what society says to us, because of what people say to us, because of other people's opinions, we're worried about this, worried about what they're going to say, we're worried about what's going to happen if I go on video. Everyone's opinions pushes us down, and the lions become sheep. And then the sheep turn into snakes. And the reason they're snakes is because they haven't grown themselves. So they don't want other people to grow, because it's easy to tear other people down, right? 2 ways to build the biggest building in town. How do you do it? You either build the biggest building in town, or you tear down everyone else's building. And what most people do is they tear down other people's buildings. So make sure that you have no snakes in your life. Get away from those snakes. Really, really, really get away from those snakes. So for those people who are joining us, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, jump in on Instagram. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you from now, just press the request button. So when I've given you my rant, when I've given you everything I want to give you, join in, tell me how your weekend's been, what's going on, how can I help you, and let me be able to help you right now. Okay, fine. So I went through the 4 ways for kids. So this is in the kids' mindset. And by the way, if you want to watch that, it's on my YouTube channel for about 24 hours more. Just go onto my YouTube channel. It's the latest video on there. And it's got a picture of a superhero, right? To find the superhero within a child. So click on there and do this workshop with your kids. Get your kids around you. And it's a highly energetic workshop, right? So just have a piece of paper and a pen. And when I ask you to shout and scream and do all those things with the kids, do that. And so there's 4 things which I told every single child that what I want you to be able to do is these 4 things, to be able to find the superhero within you, to be able to build that lion, so that you're a lion, you're not a sheep. And definitely, I don't want any one of you to actually be a snake. So the first thing I said is that what a lion does is a lion has a lot of self-belief. Because if you look at the lion's not the strongest animal. The lion's not the fastest animal. It's not the tallest animal. It's not the largest animal in the kingdom. So why is the lion the king of the jungle? What makes the lion the king is the amount the lion believes in himself. So when a lion goes up to an elephant, the lion thinks of food. That's it. When the elephant looks at the elephant thinks it can be eaten. That's why the elephant will always be lower than the lion, even though the lion is smaller than the elephant. Okay, so just always remember that. It is about self-belief. The lion has got the most amount of self-belief. That is why the lion is the lion. That's why the lion is the king of the jungle. But then we went one step further to show the kids, how do you create that self-belief? And what I said is the way you create that self-belief is through gratitude. So I got the kids yesterday to write down a gratitude list, things they could be grateful for. And I did that with my son live over here. So it's on my YouTube channel. Please have a look. And then what I asked you to do is go, and when nerves fire together, they wire together. When you say something loudly, it is so much more powerful. Harvard has done a study that when you say something loudly, it is 10 times more powerful than when it's not said, or when it's in your mind, or when it's said quietly. So I told the kids yesterday to go in and shout and scream their gratitude points, right? And we had 400, 500 people tuning in. There's been about 2,000 people since who've watched it on who've watched it on upload, and it was phenomenal, right? And I got videos of kids screaming in the household, shouting the gratitude points. It was the most beautiful hour ever. Okay, so if you haven't tuned in, go watch that. But that was the first thing. Okay, so the first thing was totally about gratitude. The second thing I wanted the kids to know, that if you wanted to become that massive lion, the second thing you need to be able to do is accept failure. Not just accept failure, but learn to love failure. Because remember, the lion every day when the lion wakes up, it's not going to always catch the gazelle, but it'll never give up. Because why? Because it knows its family is going to be hungry. So if you know your family is going to be hungry right now, why aren't you waking up at 4:30, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. every single morning and hustling right now when the doors are closed, when 9 95% of business owners aren't doing anything. Isn't this your time to get out there, doing lives, doing free stuff, doing workshops, adding more value, building programs, building things which people can come into, marketing, getting more leads into your ecosystem? Isn't this the time? Facebook ads right now are half the price as it was 3 weeks ago. Why aren't you hustling right now? That you have to come home and feed your family. In the Lion every day, the Lion will wake up and it'll make sure that no matter what it does, it will catch a gazelle and it'll bring it home and it'll feed its family. It will never let its family go hungry. It'll never sit on the couch watching TV. It'll never just watch the other animals, right? You've never heard of a lion who doubts himself, right? You've never heard of a depressed lion. They don't happen, right? And that's what the character of a lion's all about. So what I wanted to tell the kids is make sure that you don't look at failure in that way. That make sure failure, you love it, because understand, we went through people's examples like Steve Jobs and like, even people like J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. 11 publishers told her book was crap, that no one's going to read it. Why would you publish it? The 12th publisher said yes, and that's when J.K. Rowling actually got Harry Potter published. Now, what if she'd given up on failure number 3, 4, 5? Harry Potter would have never been born. Your kids, my kids, would have never been inspired. So my point is, do not look at failure as something bad. Look upon failure as growth. Look upon failure as something which can grow you. See, because maybe success for you is 10 failures away. And what if you give up on failure number 2? But the thing is, how do you? So I didn't tell the kids this yesterday because it wasn't the right place for them. But whenever you hit failure, there are 3 questions which you need to ask yourself each and every time. Again, YouTube feed, Instagram feed, Facebook feed. Feel free to come on the Instagram feed, and then you can just click on requests, and in a few moments I'll take on some of you and let's have a conversation live. Tell me anything you're tell me anything you're stuck with. So the first thing is 3 questions, right? Whenever you fail, ask yourself, number 1, why did I fail? Okay, write that down, really important. Why did I fail? Because if you fail and then you come back and do the same thing again, then that is really a failure, and that's a problem. Because you can fail once, but learn from that failure so that same failure doesn't happen again. You can fail on something else. It may be something different, but you cannot let the same thing happen to you twice. It's like if one of your friends let you down, you've learned that, right? So then don't trust that person again. Don't give him that again. Because if he lets you down again, it's not his fault, it's your fault, right? Because you let them do that. So number 1, why did you fail? Number 2, the question is, what could I have done better? Okay, ask you that question from every single failure you've had. What could I have done better? So number 1, why did I fail? And number 2, what could I have done better? One of the keys to someone who's growing a lion, growth mindset, is where you can analyze your own failures. And you can say, look, you're going to take the emotional part out of it. I always say there's a 5-second rule and a 90-second rule. The 5-second rule is whenever you want to do something, your gut will tell you to go and do it. Your brain will tell you not to do it because your brain's there to keep you safe. You have 5 seconds to act before your brain turns it off. That's the 5-second rule. I always say that there's a 90-second rule as well. And the 90-second rule is whenever you have a bad time, whenever something goes wrong, you can beat yourself up. Don't not beat yourself up. It's okay. Give yourself a tough time, but don't give it to yourself for more than 90 seconds. Because after 90 seconds, it just drags you down. Some people are still beating themselves up for something they did a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Some people are beating themselves up for something their parents did to them. My point is, let it go. 90 seconds. And after 90 seconds, you need to let that go so you can become the person that you need to be, so you can go out there and serve the world in the way that you need to. But if you let it go on for longer, it's all going to fall apart. So make sure 90-second rule. So number 2, what could I have done better? Third question I want you to ask yourself. So number 1 is, why did I fail? Number 2, what could I have done better? And number 3 is, how do I make sure that this mistake will not happen again? Okay, so from every single failure, ask yourself that question. How will I make sure this doesn't happen again? So maybe it means, for example, I remember I turned up to, just before lockdown, I was in the US, I was in Orlando, I was speaking for 4 or 5 days continuously. And I actually got there on the Thursday about 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when I landed. And I'd promised myself from a few months before that I'll make sure that I get somewhere the day before, just so I've got time to rest. But I didn't. And I didn't have a very good seat on the plane, so I was a bit cramped. It wasn't great. Got off the plane, had a few meetings, went straight into that talk. There were about 200-300 people there, and the talk was a disaster, absolute disaster. My energy level was low. It was just really bad. Everyone found it good, but for my standard, it was really poor. Now, For me, that was a massive mistake. I beat myself up. Okay, 90 seconds. Okay, Mahmoud, you're really bad. Okay, things were crap. You let yourself down. You promised yourself you'd get there earlier. You didn't prep enough. Da, da, da. I gave myself that beating, but then I sat down and I asked myself these 3 very important questions. Number 1, why did I fail? And I knew I failed because I didn't prep enough. I was tired because it was a 12, 13-hour journey. No, 20-hour journey when you take in from leaving my house. It was, okay, I hadn't slept much, hadn't eaten much, I was just drained. Okay, that's why. Number 2, what could I have done better? I could have left a day earlier. I could have arrived in the US a day earlier. So I could have been energized. I could have prepped more. I could have made sure I had a little nap before I got on stage, okay? And how will I make sure that will never happen again? I'll make sure that before I go on stage for a big event like that, I'll make sure I'm well rested, right? So I've learned from that. Now that'll never happen again. If it does happen again, my fault, right? Purely my fault. So now I've learned from that. Same thing. So that's the second thing I told the kids, that whatever failures you have, right? Whatever failures you have, but don't be scared of the failures. I remember early on in my journey, something great happened. That I went to a public speaking course because I didn't know how to speak, right? I couldn't speak, I had a stutter, every word like, okay, so no words would come out. And I went on a public speaking course and we had like 110 people. Some of you who are there were still friends right now. Some of those people in my ecosystem were still really good friends. And then the person at the front, the person who was leading it, he came in and said, look, you guys, how many of you would like a one-to-one with me for one day? And everyone puts their hands up, right? And he's like, well, I charge 20 grand a day, okay, 20,000 UK, which is about 30, right now, about 23,000 US dollars for a day. And at that point, I thought for a day, that was a lot of money because I'd never been around people who like can charge that much. Now I know it's not a lot of money for one day of heavy, intense coaching. And then the moment he said 20,000 for the day, everyone put their hand down. And he said, look, guys, I can do one thing for you, right? If any of you want a day with me, if you can do a talk when you leave here for 1 hour, you record it to more than 100 people, I will give you a day with me for free. And I'm like, what a flipping bargain, right? Like, I'm going to go do this. So I did it. So I went out, I hustled, I got 100 people together. I got a camera crew, we filmed it. And I sent it to him. And he was like, okay, fine, you've got a day with me. And out of those 110 people, guess how many people actually did that? Was one person. That was me. I was the only person, 110 people who did that. I got a full day with him and he opened up doors which changed my life forever. Okay, because he spoke to someone and said, look, you need Mahmoud to come and speak for you. That opened up another door, that opened up a corporate door, and all of a sudden things started changing. Why? Because of that massive step I took. But most people in that room thought that, you know what happens if it goes wrong rather than what happens if it goes right. And on that day, I said, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. No matter what I do, I'm going to make it happen. So you need to be like that, right? Success is a series of small steps done over and over and over and over again. It's not that one thing. So make sure you're always focused. Make sure that you understand that failure is good. The third thing I told the kids, which is what I told you guys last week, but I kind of brought it down for them, is I said that, you know, when the lion goes out there, the lion knows how powerful he is. The lion's got his beliefs. And do you remember last week we said that there's 4 beliefs we must have? That the belief number 1 is we live in a great world. Okay, that world is good. That number 2, that life happens for us, doesn't happen to us. And number 3, that the traits, the skills, and the traits, the skills and the talents we're born with, they're malleable, so we can change them. We're not fixed. And number 4, that everything which we're doing right now behind closed doors, it is going to pay off later, that the world will reward us. God, the world, the universe, the spirit, whatever you believe in, you will be rewarded for all the hard work you put in. So that's what I told the kids. Then I told the kids to jump around the room screaming and shouting that they can do it, they can do it, they can do it. And we had kids all around the world, right? 400 or 500 families jumping up, screaming, shouting. And I got videos and they put it on Facebook and Instagram. They put it out and showed how much their kids were jumping, shouting and screaming. And you know, it was phenomenal. It was an absolutely brilliant day. Again, go to the YouTube channel, check it out, and that's for you. So that was the third one. And the fourth thing which I told the kids, and I've got some other ones which I want to give you, which I didn't give them yesterday, is I asked the children to find a superhero name within them. And that whenever they're going through a tough time in their life, that they can call upon that superhero person. So I told them my superhero name, and I got all of them to make up their superhero name. And what that superhero is about is, if you, for example, look at Superman. Superman isn't Superman all the time. Superman is Clark Kent. He wears his glasses, suit, is in the office. But he can't be Superman all the time because Superman is too powerful to exist all the time. This energy which I bring to you right now, I cannot bring this energy back into my daily life at home with my family. It's not, you know, I have different people. I have a different me on stage. I have a different me on video. I have a different me when I'm with my friends. I have a different me when I'm with my wife. I have a different me doing that with my kids. You can have different personalities for different parts in your life. Don't let anyone tell you need to be one person. You don't. You can be different people. You need to be different people for different parts of your life. So I said, find a superhero name within you, a superhero name within you. And whenever you need that superhero name, you just call upon it. And you know that you're powerful enough and you can get through anything. So for me, that was really powerful. So the kids had a great time. Again, go onto YouTube, it's there, right? So they were the 4 points which I brought them on how to actually become lions. I want to hit some more points. I want to hit 5 more points right now. I'm not going to go through them in too much depth because I want to wrap up in about 10-15 minutes, and then I want to answer some of your questions. So the next thing which I want you to do for you to develop yourself into that lion, right? For you to be that lion, right? Remember, lions, sheep, and snake. We don't want to be a snake ever. We want snakes out of our life. Sheep, okay, but they regret not being lions. You want to be a lion, right? You want to do everything you can, the courage, everything which you bring into your life. How do you do that? Next step is evaluate your friend circle. So look at your friendship circle, right? So what I would do is I'll take your 10 or 15 closest people. And if you're not sure who they are, pull up your phone list and see the last 10, 15 people you called. The last 10 or 15 people you called on WhatsApp are most likely to be the 10 or 15 people that you keep in touch with the most. And on them, label them from 1 to 4. Give them a 1 if they are someone who supports you, okay? So if this person is someone who supports you, put a 1 by their name. If there's someone who's against you, put a 2 by their name. If there's someone who always tells you to do less, you're doing too much and there's no point of this and just do less. If it's someone like that, put a 3 by their name. And if it's a person who just doesn't fit into any of those categories, just put a 4, okay? So number 1, are they someone who support you? You know those people who really support you, find the best in you, push you, say, yes, you can do it. You can be anything, you can do anyone, who support you, lift you up. The really, really amazing people, put a 1 by their name, okay? Number 2, if there are people who are against you, put a 2 by their name. If there are people who tell you to always do less, put a 3 by their name. And if they don't fit into any of the above, put a 4 by their name. And then what you want to do is you want to go and you want to evaluate this circle and see the 1s are people I want to keep. And I want to grow my 1s. My 2s, my 3s, my 4, I want to do 1 or 2 things. I either get rid of them from my life, because if they're friends and people like that, you can get rid of them. If they're family, it's a problem, right? Can't get rid of family. So if it's family, what you want to do then is you want to find a way to ignore those people at the times they're giving you 2, 3s, and 4s, okay? So really important, okay? So label them 1, 2, 3, 4. The ones you want to keep, the ones you want to grow, the number 2, 3, 4s, you want to either get rid of them from your life, okay? It's okay. Remember, some people are only meant to be in your life for a chapter. They're not meant to be in there for the whole book. People are here to, people are here to just teach you a lesson. When you learn the lesson from that person can move on. So if that person's not serving you, and don't think that you can change them. Why? Because it's hard enough to change yourself. So don't think you can change others. So number 1, okay, get rid of the 2, 3s, and 4s and grow the 1s. Okay, it is really, really important to be able to grow the 1s. Okay, so that's the next key to become that lion. The next thing is that I want you to be able to reframe. And what I mean by reframe is some of you may have had some really, really horrible stuff which has gone on in your life. I understand that, right? We all have some really, really tough stuff which has gone in our life. And what a lot of people do is they hold on to that and they see it as a problem. And because of that, it weighs you down like weights on your feet. And what reframing is when you give what's happened to you a much better meaning. So I'll give you an example. When my father passed away, it was one of the most difficult things for me in my life, and I was upset. It was holding me back because, I was young, my dad was young. Why did my dad get taken away so easily? And, so much I had to share with him, and how am I going to do everything now without my dad, because my dad was my rock. And then I remember my coach one day told me on the phone, he picked up the phone and said, look, Mahmoud, you've got to stop this. He goes, just shut up and now stop. And he goes, give your father's death a better meaning. And that's the day when I changed, when my mindset changed. And I said, you know what? I'm going to use my father's death as the biggest propellant in my life. That I'm going to build a machine. I'm going to build someone who's so powerful, so confident. Everywhere I go, my father is actually going to live through me. So everywhere where I go right now, whatever stage I speak on, whether it's on business, whether it's on mindset, whether it's on health, I always talk about my story, which is about my father. So for me, my father's death became the greatest gift because I became the person I needed to be through his death. So now I know he's looking upon me and smiling at me and knowing that everywhere I'm going, I'm living his legacy. So for me, I reframed that. I reframed that whole thing, right? So I said, what if you could make your worst experience the most best experience, right? Just ask yourself that. What if you could make your worst experience the biggest gift you've got? And some of you may have been through crazy things, right? And I know life's not meant to be fair. But remember, pain is inevitable, but suffering is your choice. So you choose to continue to suffer and choose to continue to suffer. So reframe what's going on. Okay, look at the worst thing which happened to you and say, how can I bring a positive stint from it? How can I learn from this? How can I grow from it? How can I make something better from this? And when you learn to reframe things in your life, then you become that lion. I spoke last week about Viktor Franklin's book. Viktor Franklin wrote a book called Search for Meaning. And Viktor Franklin was in 5 concentration camps. And what the book is, what the book's called, right? It's called Man's Search for Meaning. The whole reason the book is written is because in that pain, can you find the meaning from that pain? Because what he realized is he went in 5 concentration camps, his whole family got killed, but still he found a way to envision a brighter future for himself. And that's why he lived, and that's why he came out, and that's why he wrote this amazing book, and that's why he became the person that he is right now, okay, when he was around. So, but he realized that there's a 72-hour window. That people who went in these concentration camps, if they didn't reframe why they were there, within 72 hours, they would die. Okay, so the reframing part is so important. Okay, so look at the things in your life right now which are holding you back, things which are tough, things which have happened to you. Put a different frame on them. Like my coach told me, right, Mahmoud, change the meaning you give to your father's death. And because of that, this is where I was. I left dentistry. I grew my coaching business, right? I'm earning what I'm earning now. I'm talking to you right now. I'm speaking with, tens of thousands of people around the world. I'm on stage with thousands of people. I've got coaching. Everything which I do came from one of the biggest pains in my life. So my point is that your greatest gift will always come through your greatest pain. But the lion is one who will actually go in and they will find their greatest gift through their greatest pain. So make sure that every day you're looking at what's going wrong, you're figuring that out, you're reframing what's going on in your life, and you're telling yourself that there's a better meaning in there. Go in there, search that meaning, and find out and take control, right? And when you take control, that is the next thing, right? That there are some people who feel that they've been given a bad hand at birth, right? They've been dealt a bad hand, right? Some people have. I'm not going to deny that. Some people have been dealt a bad hand. So, and I'm sorry to say this, but so what, right? So what? I feel sorry for you, right? But there's nothing anyone can do about it. If you've been dealt a bad hand, if you didn't have much money, I always say that, if you're born poor, it's not your fault. You die poor, it's your fault, okay? So it's up to you, right? Take control. That no matter what happened to you, you're dealt a bad hand, it's okay. But right now, just ask yourself the question that, okay, I was dealt a bad hand. What can I do about it? Okay, what can I do about this bad hand? Right? The book is called Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, someone on Facebook's asking, what is it? Okay, by Viktor Franklin, The Man's Search for Meaning. Brilliant book. Please do read it. Okay. So take control. Okay, you may have been dealt a bad hand, but that's okay. But what I want you to do is understand that, number one, there's a gift inside of there, right? And just ask yourself the question, okay, fine, I've been dealt a bad hand. What can I do with it now? I can't do anything about it. So I can either just go through life or I can actually grow through life. Okay, that's the next one. The next one is that understand, as I said before, failure, slip-ups are important. Okay, I told you about the talk when I went to the US and I just had that really bad talk. It was embarrassing, didn't do well at all. Slip-ups are okay. But understand that, learn from slips. One of my coaching clients called me this morning and he said, Mahmoud, I did a live because right now all my clients are getting on lives. And I said, look, get on a live. And he got on a live and he's brilliant at doing these lives, but he tried a new thing this morning and it didn't go too well. And I said, good. And he goes, what do you mean good? And I said, good, because you've got something you can learn from now, right? Send me a list of 5 things where you could do better tomorrow. And then we go out tomorrow and we become stronger. Because most people, when they hit with, oh man, I did bad, people are laughing at me, it was, number one, it's really not that bad because you rate yourself so differently to the other way people rate you. Okay, so number one, it wasn't that bad, but in his mind, it was really bad. So now, good, we've got growth. You've done something bad, let's learn from it and let's progress every day, which is the next one. Right? That every single day, I said at the beginning, ask yourself that question, that am I better today than what I was yesterday? And how do I become better tomorrow than what I am right now? That is important, right? And every day, what I'm saying is progress. Always progress. You need to make sure that you're stronger, fitter, healthier, mentally, financially. Every single day you're growing. Maybe financially you're not growing in actual money in your bank, but you can be growing your audience, getting more people to watch you, getting getting a bigger lead gen around you wherever you are. So I'm not talking just financially being money, but I'm talking to you that you can actually grow your business right now by just being online more, giving more, serving more, doing more lives, creating content, putting it out there, picking up the phone, calling your clients, say, how can I help you right now? Get a list of your 10, 20 top paying clients and just call them and say, do you know what? How can I help you right now? Maybe there's something that you can help them with right now. Maybe something which is outside the box. Okay, I gave a great story yesterday, which is about thinking outside the box. It's on the kids mindset course. Go to YouTube, watch it. It's right at the end. It will really help you. Okay, so progress every day. The next one is, right, we've got 5 minutes. The next one is, whenever we're asked to make a decision, we always normally look at all of the options and then we pick the middle one, right? No, we don't. What we normally do is we normally pick the worst case scenario. So out of everything which could happen, okay, in the quantum world, we pick out the worst one, and that's what we do. That's what we say. So, for example, if you're asked to invest in yourself, you say, okay, why don't you go on this course? Or why don't you go out on YouTube and talk? Why don't you go on Instagram and do a live? And in your mind is, what if it all goes wrong? What if everyone laughs at me? And what if it's horrible and I lose everyone around me, right? That's it. The worst. But there's a better outcome than that, right? And Warren Buffett said a great thing. Guys, so much full of knowledge. And what Warren Buffett said is, he said, whenever you are asked, whenever you have to make a decision, look at 3 outcomes. Number 1, what is the best case scenario? Number 2, what is the worst case scenario? And number 3, what is the most likely scenario? And what Warren Buffett said is, go with the most likely scenario, not the best, not the worst. So when I meet a new client and we're having that conversation about coaching, and they come to me and they say, look, Mahmoud, can you coach me? I'm like, okay, fine. This is what we're going to achieve. This is what we're going to be. This is how much it's going to be. And most people who don't have a growth mindset, who are not really coachable, come up with the answer, well, what if I lose all my money? What if it doesn't work? And I'm like, the only way it won't work is if you don't work. If you work, it'll work. The best case is you'll make 50, 60, 100 times return on your investment with me. Worst case is you make 0. Likely outcome is you make 10 times back. Now you need to see what the most likely thing is, and you need to go with that. Okay, so don't look at the worst case scenario, because your mind will always revert you to the worst case scenario. Why? Because your mind wants to keep you safe, doesn't want you to grow. And if it picks out the worst case scenario, you're not going to grow. And if you're not going to grow, it's going to keep you safe. And that's how life's meant to be. And then you become a sheep, and then you become a snake, and then you want to be a lion. And then, and then it all goes crazy, right? But you're here because you want to be lions, right? You don't want to be a sheep. You definitely don't want to be a snake. So make sure that every day, whenever you're asked to make any sort of decision, the decision you're basing your decision on is a decision of growth, not from lack. Make sure that you're at peak position mentally when you make any decision. So again, worst case, best case, middle case, stick with the middle case, and that's what you go with, okay? Now, next one is, the next one I want to talk to you about is, for me, very important, but I'm just going to go through very quickly, is that there's this big thing right now, kind of work smart, right? Don't work hard, but work smart. Don't work that hard. Let's try and do it as quick as we can, right? Let's do the least amount of work. And my point is that maybe later on, when your business is established and you're doing really well and fine, those things are okay, you can then work smart. But early on, it's all about the hustle. It's all about the grind. It's all about the hard work. That I don't want you to ask yourself the question, what is the least I can do? Ask yourself the question, how much can I bear? Right? How much can I take on? How much can I take on? So you ask yourself that question, not what is the least amount I can do. Ask yourself how much I can bear. When you ask yourself that kind of question, imagine what you can take on. Now, right now, from all everywhere, like people, like yesterday, we had this 4 p.m. live kids mindset, 400 or 500 people. No, it was about 1,500 people tuning in, 400 to 500 families tuning in. Half an hour after that, I had another live, okay, which was a fitness class from around the world. 4 hours after that, I had another live on live TV where we're raising money, okay, for charity, for people who are going through crisis right now. And anyone right now who's throwing me things, I'm saying, yeah, I'll take it, I'll do it. Why? Because I know right now, number one, the world needs people like me. But number two, I don't ask myself the question, what is the least amount I can do to get through the day? I ask myself, how much can I bear? Can I stay up till 2? Can I stay up till 3? Can I wake up at 5 in the morning? Can I survive on 2-3 hours of sleep? Yes, throw it on me. Let me take it. This is it, right? This is what the hustle is all about, guys. The hustle isn't about that one thing which is going to get you there. The hustle is about every day. Ask yourself that question, not what is the least amount I need to do? How much can I bear? And when you ask yourself that question, you start growing phenomenally. And all of a sudden, life begins to change. Last one before I bring you in is that we all have a way in which we're comfortable working. So for me, before this crisis happened, I used to speak around the world. So I used to be in a plane once every 2 weeks. I used to love it, meeting different people, being all around the world, being paid really well to speak. And then I used to have my own courses. So I used to bring people in from different countries. And I used to have a speaker course over here in London. And we had one week before the doors around the world closed. Very blessed, just right timing. And we managed to do it. A small group of people, right? They pay a lot of money. They come here, change their life. I make them 10, 15, 20 times return on what they've invested in me. And then when the doors closed, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And my whole avenue has closed down because I didn't have anything online, and it was all down to me traveling and speaking and bringing in people, and I didn't have anything online. And I could have done one of two things, right? I could have either just said, I'll wait until the doors open, I'll follow my staff, I'll take the government money, whatever, or I'll use the savings I have because I can get through for a few months quite easily, so I'll just use that. Or I said, what if I ask myself a different question? What if the way that I become aligned is that I change the way I work, okay, and I pivot? So I take my business and I change it. And right now, what if I could build an online business right now, something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the time. What if I could do it here? So I said, that's a better question to ask myself. Not how do I go through this? How do I grow through this crisis? Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do is, for a long time, I wanted to launch a 3-month business program online where I can coach you online, where from all around the world you can tune in and I can change your life. I can grow your business. I can make you money. I can change your mindset. I can change everything for you, right? I said, okay, fine. So I said, well, how do I start it? And I'm going to tell you a secret now, right? So I said, well, I can either write the whole course and then go out and find people, or I can actually sell it, okay? Or I can sell the course. And once I've sold the course, I know I've got to prepare it, right? Because now I've got a deadline. So what did I go and do? I went and sold the course. I said I got the course because it was in here. It just wasn't out on paper. And I said, fine, it's going to be 3 months. It's going to be this, going to be this, going to be this. I'm giving you a flipping great bargain because it's during lockdown. And so why don't you come on board? So people came on board. So I started the first cohort last week, got another cohort starting next week. If any of you are interested, message me. Got 2 spaces left for the one starting next Monday. And I've never offered anything at this price before because it's just my way of giving, my way of serving. So if it's something you want, mindset, business building, growth, making money, it's a 3-month heavy business and mindset program. If it's something you want, just let me know, send me a message. I'll send you some details. 2 spaces left starting next Monday, 3 months fully with me every single week online live. Okay. So that's what I did. And then I've got another group starting next week. And then I started the kids one. And then I want to launch a kids mentoring program. So what did I do, right? I said, I'm not going to sit at home and I'm not just going to moan, groan, and just, play with my kids all day. My kids will get tired of me. My wife will get tired of me, right? I want to spend time with them, but it's quality time, not quantity time. I want to be able to serve my clients more. So I picked up the phone and I called my best clients and I said, look, guys, how can I serve even more? Anything I can do for you? What about this? What about this? I started giving them more advice for free, right? Do this, do this, do this. I want to be able to help people in my circle right now. And I want to be able to help you. So this is the point, right? So you want to become that lion, pivot. Look at the model you had. Maybe you're a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, whatever. There are things you can do right now from home. You can start that coaching business. You can start online program. You can be calling people. You can be mentoring people. You could be doing whatever you want, right? But just because the doors are closed, and the thing is, uncertainty kills people. And we haven't even been told when the doors are going to open, right? No one knows when these doors are going to open. It's going to be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. We don't know. So how much uncertainty is there in life? And uncertainty is the biggest killer of dreams. So right now, the one person you can have certainty is in yourself, right? Yourself. You can have certainty in yourself, okay? So have certainty in yourself, pivot, grow something. You want to join me, you want advice, message me, whatever you want, right? This is for you. I'm doing these every single day for you. I'm going to run these. And the reason I'm running these is because I never used to run lives. And I went up here and I said last week, I'm going to give you something every single day. And some of you say, I don't have time to listen. But I say, hold on, you don't have time to listen? I'm creating these all day, right? So if I've got time to create, I've got time to speak, then surely you've got time to listen. You've got time to take in. You've got time to write notes. You've got time to implement. You've got time to take massive action. So that's what this is all about, right? I want to serve you as much as I can. So the only one day I probably won't be with you on here is Wednesday, because I've got my coach with me on that full day. So apart from the Wednesday, I'll be here every other week, every other day. So and what are we talking about tomorrow? I don't know. But what I do know is I'll find something tomorrow to be able to give you value, talk to you, serve you, give you more. Because I know that if you can just take in what I've given you right now, you could add another zero on your income. If you just take in what I've told you right now and you implement it, you don't just listen, you don't just write it, you take it in there, you action, you do these things, you can add another zero on your bank balance within 6 months. I guarantee, and I promised you that. So even if I wasn't there holding your hand, I do in my coaching programs, just taking on what I give you right now, 100%, zero on your account within 6 months. I guarantee that. But go in and take action. So that is enough from me, because I've gone on for nearly 50 minutes without stopping. But I normally talk for 3 days without stopping. And some of you on here know, because I coach you and you come my courses, so you know that. But I hope you've got value. I'm going to click on the button right now. I want to bring someone in. The people on Facebook here and on YouTube, you will not be able to hear the person, because if you're on Instagram, you'll be able to hear them. And we had some sound issues on Friday, so I've just got an AirPod in, so you can't hear that. So join in onto Facebook, and you can see the person, you can hear them. Or if join in on Instagram. If you can't join in on Instagram, it's fine. I will repeat the question once they're done. So I'm going to click on this button, and if you're one of the people and just press request at the bottom now, and then I will bring you in. But please do come in. Please don't be shy. Nothing to be shy of at all. This is here to serve you, help you, grow you, right? So I'm just going to click on here, and let's see who we have first. Great. So let's see if we come on. And if not, I've got loads of questions you've sent me. And will this person come on? Unique Caterer UK. Brilliant. Bit of branding there for you as well. Great. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't see you. I can see a ceiling. So it would be really good to be able to see you. Great. Anyone there? That's fine. How can I help? Hello? Okay, so hello? Okay, so I'm going to push you off here because I can't hear you. But if you come back to the screen, please message and we will have you back. Great. Okay, fine. So let's see a bit of Russian roulette. Let's see who this is. Mickey Jake. Let's see. Let's add you on. And again, if you're going to come here, please make sure that you keep it respectful, and you make sure, because there's a lot of people watching now and after. And just tell me how I can help you, anything you're going through, and let really me be able to give you as much advice as I can. So, Mickey Jake, are you on? Do we have Mickey Jake coming through? Is it going to come through? Is it a feed issue? Is it going to come through? Again, if you click request, please be by your phone, so when I click your name, you are there. Okay, it doesn't look like they're coming on. So, anyone else, all I want you to do is just click on that request button in Instagram. Come on the feed with me. Anything that I can help you with about your business, about anything right now. As I said, there's enough on this to be able to add a zero on your income within 6 months easily, right? Any one of you want to be part of those 2 spaces left on the course for next week, just message me and I will sort that out. Anything else you need, brilliant. Just going to click on this. Let's see. And let's go live with Abbas. Abbas, are you there? Do we have someone finally whose feed's working? Hey, how are you? Great. I'm very, very, very well. Thank you for coming on. How are you? I'm keeping very well. So for just a second, so for those people who are on YouTube and Facebook, I will let you know what Abbas is saying once he's finished. But if you want to tune in on Instagram, you'll be able to see him live and hear him live as well. Thanks so much. How's everything going, Abbas? Yeah. The worst thing is, man, my hair. I can't get it cut every week like I normally do. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Anything I can help with at all? right? Sure. Right. So great question, right? And the question is that when we spoke on Friday, I spoke about the whole about how everyone should have a coach in every area of your life, right? Health, finance, mindset, kids, marriage. You need coaches in your life to be able to grow you. So Abbas's question is, um, what is the best way to be able to go about getting a coach like this? So okay, so the first thing I say, don't go to try not to go to a life coach, because a life coach is too general, right? There's too much. So you want someone. So what I'd like you to do is find out the biggest thing. So for example, say it's business, say it's mindset, right? Find a business mindset coach, find a speaker coach, find out the things which you need the most and go after that. So when I started, I used to call myself a life coach because I used to help in all areas of your life. What I realized is that for you to be able to create a valuable ecosystem and valuable clients, you need to be quite niched. So I got rid of the name of being a life coach and I concentrated on what I was the best at. But I know that when I train you on business, mindset, speaking, I'm also training you on the rest of your life as well, because there is no way in the world which you can add a zero in your bank account if your health isn't in place. Okay, but I don't call myself a health coach because I know that I can't, because I won't be able to make as much as I make right now if I called myself a health coach, right? So I do health, but I'm not a health coach. So what I would say is go out there. You'll find many people out there, myself, other people. Find someone who you sync with. Find someone that's the person who has qualities in them which I want to be like. Find someone who's already got to where you want to go. Not specifically, so it doesn't have to be in your industry, but just generally, and then approach that person and just ask them how. So like for me, I've one-to-one programs, I've group programs, I've online programs. So everyone who you go to should have a variety of ways in which you can interact with them. Okay. I always say, don't try and get something for free as well. And the reason I do it, and the reason I say that, and all my clients know this, is that I look at this two ways. That number one, that if you don't have skin in the game, you're never going to push through. So when you're with me, and so when my highest paying clients are paying me what they are, I know that whatever I tell them to do, they're going to do it, because they've got too much on the line. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be scary. The things I ask them to do, they're not easy, but that's where growth is from, right? So when they go out and they go past fear, they go past all that, and they do that, they've grown like crazy. But if they didn't have that on the line, if they didn't have that financial on the line, they would never have pulled through. They'd have said, you know what, I'm out of here. So, okay, and at this time, what I've done in this climate is I've developed new things which are a lot lower, which are affordable to most people, because I just want to be able to grow that ecosystem and help as many people as I can. So go and find someone who you feel, maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else, go and find someone, have that conversation with them and let them see exactly what you need, and let them then see if they can help you. But yeah, I say for everyone, don't go through life without a coach. Everyone needs coaching. So I hope that answers your question. Does it? Please. So for me, when my dad passed away, I mentioned last week that when my dad died, the one thing which my dad had a life of no regret. He did everything he wanted to do, and my life at that point, it was full of regret. One of the biggest regrets is I didn't enjoy my career anymore. I loved it early on. For the last 5-7 years, I've really beginning to hate it. I really hated it. It was holding me back. But that's all I knew. And people said, Mahmoud, you're a dentist, right? That's all you can do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with dentistry. Absolutely brilliant profession to be in, but it just wasn't for me at that point. And people said you couldn't do it. And I believed them. I couldn't speak. I had a stutter. And I looked at myself and said, where do I want to go? And then when my dad died, I said, you know what? I don't want to ever be in a place where I die and I regret the things I didn't do. So I said, how do I go and do the things that I want to do? And I said, look, this is the person I need to become. That I know the first thing I need to do is learn to be able to speak. Okay. And so that's the first thing I went and did. And then I started coaching people, and that's how the whole thing grew. But I gave a story last time about King Arthur. You know, King Arthur's he's on a table with all of his knights, and he tells his knights that if you want to find the Holy Grail, you've got to go to the darkest part in the forest and start looking. And the point is that there's a darkest part in you. You need to go and look in that darkest part. And what you find the hardest is what you need to do the most. So look inside yourself, find the thing which is the hardest, and go out there and start conquering that. And you know what? I couldn't believe I'm where I am right now a few years ago, without a doubt. Okay, I got a hell of a long way to go. I'm in the early, I'm early in my career, still, massive way to go. But I remember that if I didn't have that coach, and if I didn't have my coach along the way, no way, absolutely impossible, because you can't see what you can't see. And my coaches see more in me than I see of me and myself, and they push me, they hold me accountable, and that's the way it works. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if there's anything, just reach out, send me a message. But otherwise, thank you so much. You know, the massive thing is where you click that button, you came on, and just your questions inspired so many people. So, Abbas, thank you so much for doing that. It's really, really amazing of you. Okay, stay safe, stay blessed. Yeah. Awesome, man. I'm going to see how big the beard grows, man. Yeah. Take care. Look after yourself. You have a great day. Thank you. Great. So if there's anyone else, just feel free to click on that. So just click on that. Okay, so Abbas, you still there? No. No. Yeah, I think you have to leave. I can't get rid of you. If I no, that's fine, because if I leave, I think I boot you off. I don't want to boot you off. Great. Thank you so much. So I've got some questions here. Is there anyone else? We've got about 5 minutes. If there's anyone else, just click on the request button. I will bring you on live. Anything you have, please do share. And I am just going to go through a few questions here. How are you going to invest? Okay, number one, how do you convince people to invest? I'm talking family, friends, and loved ones. Okay, the people who are definitely not coachable are your family, your friends, and your loved ones. Do not try and coach your family, friends, your loved ones. They're not coachable. You know too much about them. Okay, easily they can say no. So thank you for the question. Number one, do not coach family, friends, or loved ones. It is not worth it. Do not ask them to invest in you. If they want to invest, that's fine, but otherwise do not try and coach them, because they are uncoachable, okay, because you're so close to them. Okay, I have a coach that I recommend to everyone. However, I see others who would benefit from a coach. They're just unwilling to consider, which I know is holding them back. Most people, like you just advised, they're looking for free advice, and everyone wants a quick, simple solution. Right, okay, fine. No, that's cool. Great thing. So yeah, a lot of people, they're looking for something which is free. And I say that free is the worst thing you can have, because and I always tell my clients as well, so when I work with you, I build you up massive packages. So I say, I want people to pay you so much that they've got so much on the line, because when they've got so much on the line, they're going to push through. They're going to push through. Times like this are different. And I've gone to my clients and I've told them, look, let's start creating new things down here where we can serve more people, just like I have with my business coaching program. But you need to have skin in the game, and you need to have a lot of it, because when you've got a lot of skin in the game, no matter what someone tells you to do, you will go and do it, because you've got too much on the line not to do it. Okay, so again, I really advise this. Find someone in your life, especially now, right, who can push you, find the best out of you, because other people can see more in you than you can see in you. You can't see your blind spots. When you're in the box, you can't see the label. When you're in the forest, all you can see is the trees. The things I've said all the time. So I hope that you have found a lot of value in today. Okay, message me if there's anything after this. We've gone on for an hour, so that's cool. I'm going to save this feed on Facebook. So if you want to watch this after, like all of the coaching sessions last week, they're all saved on Facebook, not on YouTube, not on Instagram, but they're saved on Facebook. If there's anything that you need, let me know. If you would like to know more about the 3-month coaching program, 2 spaces left, message me. I would love to be able to serve you if that's something you want. But otherwise, whatever the case, tune in every day this week on 2 p.m. today, tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm being coached. Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, I'll sort that out. Anyway, meet me tomorrow, 2 p.m. What we're going to talk about, I have no idea. What I do know is it's going to help change your life. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your love, all your comments, all your kindness. And also the kids' mindset workshop is on YouTube for about another day. So if you want to watch that, go onto YouTube. It's the last video there. Do it with your kids, but play full out, right? Get your kids to have a piece of paper and a pen, and every exercise I do, get your kids to do that, just if I was live. Okay, have a great day. Take care. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much. Take care. And we end here, and we stream here. Welcome everybody, and we share And we